For my son's first birthday, I wanted to make him an activity board. After looking at a bunch of pictures and designs online, this is what I came up with. I designed it to be a box with the top piece that can come off, a back panel that can slide out, so that later we can go back in and wire in a bunch of LED lights to make all of the switches and knobs functional. I started off by laying out all of the pieces on a 2-foot by 2-foot piece of 1/2-inch MDF. After I found an arrangement I liked, I took a few pictures for referencing later and then traced around everything that needed to be cut out. I drilled some holes and used a jigsaw to make the cuts. For the circular button pieces, it was important to leave room in the back for the wiring clips and nuts, so I used a Forstner bit big enough for the wiring clips and nuts and only drilled about halfway through. Then I finished the hole with a bit the size of the actual button. This way the button would sit proud of the surface of the board. To construct the box, I essentially made 2 dado cuts using a router. I started shallow and increased the depth until I reached a 1/2 inch. Then I did some quick sanding to get rid of any scraps and jagged edges that were left behind. I had 2 4-foot lengths of 2x4 for this project. When I was measuring and making the cuts, I wasn't factoring in the proud edges for the top and bottom of the box. This ended up leaving me short for the sides. This was a rookie mistake, but it wasn't unfixable. I measured the gap and then cut that bit off of both pieces of the MDF using the table saw. After a little coaxing, the dry fit came together pretty nicely. Once I knew it all fit, I disassembled it and rounded over all of the edges with a sander. Since it was a toddler that was going to be playing with it, I wanted to make sure nothing was too sharp or splintery. After the sanding, I gave everything a couple coats of paint and lightly sanded between each coat. The back panel needed the ability to be removed, so when I glued everything up, I only applied glue to the cuts that would hold in the front panel. Since the top needed the ability to be removed as well, no glue was applied to it either. To make removing the back panel easier, I drilled 2 pull holes with a Forstner bit. Once the back panel was removed, I referenced my pictures to lay out the pieces again and started drilling and attaching all the switches and knobs. Pilot holes were necessary for the light switch screws, but were not needed for all the items. I wanted there to be a couple things that could be completely pulled off of the board, so for the LED light and the old wallet, I attached them with Velcro strips. The whole thing was pretty heavy, so I decided to add some supports to keep it upright and prevent it from tipping. I cut 2 supports with some 1x6 lumber that extended about a foot out from the front and the back on each side. I countersunk some holes and screwed the supports on. My son loved it. If you like this project, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Many more project videos just like this one will be coming soon. Thanks.